doesn't get any better than this. So I started editing this week's video, and it really got me thinking about how far I'd come since I started my vlogs, but also my sort of photographic journey really over a number of years since I was 12 or 13. And before I got into this vlog and the photos that I took on 2 amazing mornings in the Lake District, which I think are probably some of the best photos I've taken this year, and certainly the drone footage is just incredible. I wanted to tell you a little bit more about why photography is so important for me, and why I'm massively passionate about photography, not just for the fact that I like taking photos, but just for the all-round benefits that I think photography can give people. So I've got a little bit of a story really. I'm dyslexic, so I didn't know that when I was younger, but I really struggled to read and I really struggled at school. I only ever read 2 novels, and not the most amazing novels in the world, Ghostbusters, believe it or not, and one of the Harry Potter books. It's really difficult for me to read. I really struggle to actually to focus on a paragraph. I have to reread it many times, and it's really frustrating, to be honest. And obviously that had a really big impact at school. I took my English exam 4 times and still didn't pass, which caused a whole number of problems. But at that time, photography was such an amazing outlet for me. And I now, looking back at it, I realise that whenever I looked at a magazine or a book, then I just looked at the photos and studied the photos and tried to get as much as I could from the photos without looking at the words so much. And I think that really helped with my photographic journey, really. It really helped me understand why photos were good. And then when I started taking more photographs, I could sort of pre-visualize what I wanted. It was something that I could do and was fairly successful at, whereas reading or writing was something that I really struggled with. So it was a massive outlet for me. So I took photos and I realized that I could sell these photos. So I spent many hours in the darkroom, which was again uncool. I got picked on a little bit at school for being a bit of a geek that spent time in a darkroom. But you know, photos like this were something that I sold through various shops in the local area, which helped me massively through university. I went to university and then started doing other things. I set up my own company, but throughout that I came back to photography as something that would allow me to just relax, and just made a really big difference to me. So why am I telling you this? Why do you care about what photography means to me? Well, a lot of people have asked me why I do photography, and I wanted to share that with you. But more importantly, I wanted to share the benefits and how important photography was for me, and the benefits it gave me, and the benefits that I think it can give so many other people. And these benefits are not just getting out in the great outdoors and getting the health benefits from walking around, but also the benefits from the adrenaline rush you get from when I first sent off my film and got it back, and the excitement you got. I mean, now you get excitement for going and looking at those photos in Lightroom, but also the benefits of sharing those photos and getting the reward from people commenting on those photos, and you're showing those photos to your friends. I've done a video on printing, and the benefits that you get of printing a photo and giving that photo to somebody else is just so massive. It's so great. And I've got this platform now to be able to shout from the roofs or from YouTube about how amazing that is. And I think this video and the photos that I've taken in Lake District in these last couple of mornings that I've been up there, you know, hop back to the very early days of when I started photography in the Lake District and sold my photos. And I really think that my YouTube channel has come of age a little bit. I feel like I've really started to produce some videos that are you know, really starting to inspire people, and I think this is particularly one of those. I've got some great photos and some really good drone footage. Okay, that's enough about me talking now. Let me get on to the video that I took about 10 days ago now, which started on a Friday morning. There's a guy on Instagram called James John Edwards who said, you know, let's do a meetup on top of Loughrig Fell in the Lake District. It was a perfect morning, so we climbed up there. I brought my son along as well, early in the morning, and it was stunning. So join me at 6:30 a.m. on the top of Loughrig Fell. Okay, we made it to the top of Loughrig. Roughly, I'm whacked. So we made it to the top, and so we're meant to be meeting some people up here. So hopefully they'll make it. I think we're a bit early. We probably got here probably half an hour too early, so we're just going to have something to eat, set up and wait for sunrise. And I'm going to go a little bit closer to some of the detail. We're hoping for some fog, but it doesn't look great. But it still feels great to get out. The stars coming up here were just absolutely amazing. Oh, this is just so fantastic. The conditions this morning are just absolutely beautiful. Just look at it over there. It's stunning. And then it's going to light up Elterwater, which is just over the ridge from Loughrig Tarn. And if you ever in the Lake District, then I definitely recommend that you come up here. There's views all the way around. You can see Lake Windermere and Coniston down to the south, which have both got mist on them. And then over here you can see Loughrig, and I'll walk over here and you can probably see it, and Elterwater. And then right up the valley there you can see up to Thirlmere. And unfortunately there's just no clouds at all, so there's nothing on Harrison Stickle over there. But apart from that, it just looks unbelievably spectacular. I'm just going to walk up to the top now. I've just come down a little bit because there's quite a lot of people here. I'm going to link them in this video, all the people at the top. There's quite a few Instagrammers. So you should be able to see a lot of the photos from this particular shoot. If I just walk over here and just point my camera around towards Elterwater, you can see there's Elterwater, and hopefully the mist is going to stay in the valley and catch the light when it comes, which is in about 20 minutes, I think. Sunrise 8 o'clock?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. Okay, so the sun is just about to come out behind me now. I just want to go through the setup on my camera. So I have got my 24-70 lens on, and there really isn't much to this. No filters. You can see the sun coming on top of the mountain now over there. I've got Elterwater, and the fog is increasing as the morning goes on. And I'm going to take some with just a little bit of skyline at the top, but most of them are just going to be pointing straight down at Elterwater. And I'm going to try a number of different focal lengths, so zooming closer. And I'm also going to try my 70-200 lens. I've got it obviously as low as I can on the ISO, and it looks absolutely amazing. Okay, I've come back a little bit now, and I'm just taking these grasses here just in the foreground that just contrast really well with the sort of more blue light on the fog that's in the valley, and then it just leads you all the way to the distant mountains, hills actually, but I'm going to call them mountains. It looks absolutely brilliant, and it's so still today. I've got a remote, and here we go.
Where do we go, yeah? Where do we go, Where do we go, yeah? Where do we go, Where do we go, where do we go? Where do we go, 'Cause I can't go on with no one to rely on. Where do we go, Where do we go,
So I've got my longer lens on now, and I'm trying to get some sort of intimate details in the landscape down there. So just over there on Elterwater, I've just spotted there's some trees just popping out of the mist, and it's a really good idea to put on a longer lens, and I've got my 70 to 200mm lens now, and I'm just going to pick out that detail. Again, you don't really need to worry about too much about f-stop on this. It's going to be f8, just the sharpest point on the lens, and it just looks absolutely amazing. Okay, so what a fantastic morning. It's been absolutely amazing just watching the sunrise and go over this amazing fog over Elterwater. And it really just doesn't get much better than this. I mean, what can be better than an amazing day on the top of the fells when the weather's like this? So get out of bed, get up to the top of the fell, take your head torch and wait for the sun to rise, and you will just have the time of your life. It was stunning, wasn't it? It really was stunning. So at the end, I'm just going to show you a few prints that I've made of these 2 mornings. But before I do that, I just wanted to show you the photos and the drone footage that I took on the Monday morning. So what happened actually is I'd left my Fuji camera at my parents' in the Lake District, which is where I was staying. I didn't do it on accident, I didn't do it on purpose, but I suppose serendipity played its part there. So I decided to go back Sunday night to pick up the camera, but also to stay over, and then Monday morning just looked even more amazing. It looked like it was going to be cold, there was going to be fog, and there's going to be a frost, and the first frost of the season. So I was really excited, but I suppose more importantly, I'd already been up there on the Friday, and I'd sort of seen the light and how the light sort of hit the land. And I decided that I wasn't going to go up high again on Loughrig Fell, but I was going to stay down low in the valley. And I'd seen the light as it rose in the morning. If there was going to be fog again, then it was going to cast sort of light rays through the fog, which I thought would have been really good from underneath. Now, as it happened, it was just, even before the sun rose, it was the most amazing light. It was like this purple sort of lilac hue to it. And it really was stunning. It was so calm. There was geese flying overhead, and yeah, it was just one of those really, really magical days. So I got down there really early, and I set up my tripod, and I was in 2 minds whether to do some drone footage first or actually take some photos with my D810, but I decided to set up my D810 and capture just the mood before sunrise, really. And that's what this image is, really. It just captures that lilac colour and really reflects that sort of super calm morning that I had. It really was quite breathtaking. It was a fairly simple photo to take. I just had my 24-70 lens on, no filters, f8, and I think it was around about a second exposure, but it was so still that it was really quite easy, and there was not a huge amount of post-processing in this as well. I wanted to be fairly sympathetic to the mood. And then I threw my drone in the air and took this footage. And as I was up there with my drone, I wasn't intended to take any photos, but I saw the light rays from above and it was so amazing. And I'd experimented quite a lot with my drone taking photos, and I felt that I could, if the light level was high enough, get some good footage now. So I took this one, and I'd actually taken around, I actually ended up taking around about 200 photos with my drone. The way I do it is that I take 5 exposures at a time at different exposure levels. It's fairly easy to set that up on the drone. I shoot in RAW. I set the white balance so that I'm in control of the white balance, which is something that I need for my video as well. And yeah, I got this amazing light ray shot that I've already shared on Instagram actually, but this is the landscape version of it. And it was just spectacular. This was taken with the DJI Mavic drone. And then I noticed, after I landed my drone, I noticed that as the light levels were increasing, the frost on the grasses in front of me was just incredible. So I managed to get this shot as well, which is, it's probably my favourite shot, although I don't think everyone else will think that, because again, it's just getting that first frost of the season, which was just really incredible. So I was just so pleased with this Monday morning, and I don't think it would have been possible if I hadn't been out on the Friday morning and sort of understood the sort of lay of the land from higher up. Prove that, you know, perseverance and just keep going back and trying things, and eventually you're going to get lucky, really. Okay, so before I finish this video this week, I wanted to show you a few prints that I've done from this week's video. I was really pleased with the images. I really had a great time taking these images over those 2 amazing mornings. So I decided to print some out. This is actually probably my favourite image, which is shot with the drone. I've done this in a landscape and a portrait version. So this is the portrait version. But here's some of the other images that I printed out as well. And I printed them out a little bit smaller, because I've had a lot of people ask me about my images that I sell. I sell a number of my images as A2 and A3 sizes, but people have asked if I'm going to ever sell them in smaller sizes. So I'm now going to offer those images. So there's going to be a few images from this week's video going up as A4 on my website in editions of 100. And it really helps me and supports this channel if you do buy my prints or book my one-to-one workshops. So thanks ever so much for watching again. If you've liked this video, then give it the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, then please subscribe. And if you're not part of the notification at the moment, then click the bell icon and you can sign up to get notifications when I publish new videos. I am going to start publishing videos midweek as well in a few weeks' time. So if you want to know when they come out and want to get a notification, then click that bell icon. Okay, till next week. See you next time.